Hello and welcome to the Saturday live stream. My name is Igor and this is the channel where we build and maintain open source and free to use applications. We are focusing on vibe engineering, vibe coding, and currently we are working on the Shikigami application, which is an Agentic IDE where you can manage multiple sessions, agent sessions, and as well you can work on your code manually in a classic way or a hybrid mode. It's really up to you. What are your preferences? And what you are looking at now, this is Shikigami. That is the editor mode, and here is the agentic coding mode. And as you can see, you can easily switch between these two modes at any moment in time as you wish and as you prefer. Now we are working hard on a release, final fixes and final improvements before the big release in less than 2 weeks. I'm gonna publish it. It's gonna be free to use, available to you. For now, closed source, but maybe that will change at some point. I'm not gonna promise you. Let's see how things will go. Let's take a quick look at our board. This is how it looks now. This is the state. We have almost 30 things in done column. These are the things that we worked on during live streams. Shikigami is not the only project that I am sharing with you, but recently that's our main application that we are working on. We have few things in manual verification. We're gonna check that in a minute. And I've added new things to the to-do column. This is what we're gonna work on this session. Okay, so first thing, manual verification. I'm gonna show you briefly. So we've improved a lot the editor area. We have new 3 buttons with 3 actions on the top of the files tree that allows you to easier move around the tree, either search for a file that you are currently previewing or collapsing or opening directories. I've also improved icons. Now they are consistent with the rest of the application. Okay, so icons, I mentioned that. The quick actions, I also said that. Images preview, that was something that was missing. Now we have it as well. There were 2 issues regarding removing the agent session that you finished working with. Then now there is an option to remove a work tree that was generated for a certain agent. And also there was an issue with light and dark mode. Let's test it now. So okay, now everything, all the UI elements and also the editor are switching between light and dark mode. I prefer dark, but if you are more into light, you can do it as well. You can change it. And the state gonna be preserved for you, of course. Once you close and open the application, it's still gonna keep the same theme. Okay, so that means, and I also verified off stream. Sorry, there is one more thing. I forgot the moving files or directories. I checked that off stream. So I'm moving that to done. Then the quick actions that I mentioned to locate a file that you are previewing, then expanding a directory, or collapsing everything. And as well, two issues and the images preview functionality, this is done as well. And one more thing, before we jump into the code and before we start a first agent session, what is your favorite programming language? I really would like to know. If you are here with me now, please use chat. And by the way, hello chat. So yeah, what is your favorite programming language? If you watch it later, please write a comment and let me know what is the favorite programming language among my viewers. What is the number one? What I'm gonna start from is the glow effect. If you don't know the glow effect, then please take a look at the previous session, because we improved it a bit. But there was a missing thing, which is very important, especially for people that are photosensitive. There has to be an option to disable it. So I'm gonna start a new worktree. We're gonna start with our default model, which is Opus 4.8, high effort, and a dedicated worktree for that agent. By the way, I'm not sure if you heard about it, but Fable 5 is currently unavailable outside of the US, as far as I know. If you have more details on it, please let me know in the chat or in the comments section. I just briefly read that. I don't know the details, but maybe you know. Please let me know if it is gonna be banned forever, or maybe it's a temporary thing. I had no time to read the news. But okay, so the glow effect, you will see it in a minute once we start the session. So now the agent is waiting for our input. I want you to prepare a plan to implement a switch to enable or disable the glow effect, the green glow effect, that is dynamic when an agent is working on a feature or whatever it is working on. Please verify the code base and the agent's states that are available in the constant value. And then please plan to add the feature, and it should be located in the settings module below the checkbox that is enabling or disabling OS level notifications. And now you can see, so this is the glow effect, and there has to be an option to enable it or disable it for a certain group of people. Okay, so that guy just started, so we're gonna start another session. That one gonna be a bug, because here we have default effort and default model, and it looks like default model works, but default effort not really. So we're gonna run an agent that will verify if these changes are actually applied and if they are stored in the state of the application as default configuration. I want you to verify if the default model settings and the default effort settings are actually stored and applied whenever I click on Add Agent button. Please skip systematic debugging, just try to figure it out on your own. Okay, then the third thing for today. If this is not your first time here on the live stream, then you remember that we worked on the Git integration. It's right here. It is minimal at the moment, but we have to extend it. We want to extend it actually. So now you can add a commit message, you can stage changes that are prepared to be committed. Then you can switch branch. That's how it looks. It's not beautiful. We're gonna change that as well. I already have a ticket to improve the visual design, UI elements for the Git integration. But yeah, all the basic actions are covered. But what I would like to have now, what I want to work on, is to visualize a Git history tree in the editor area. And I believe it should be we need to add a button. I'm not sure yet where to put it exactly. Okay, maybe it's gonna be similar to the actions that we have here at the bottom. So if you go to the files tree preview, then at the bottom there are three actions. One is search, then hide, show hidden files or directories, and then to start the terminal session. That's the third one. So maybe we can do something similar. So we're gonna add a bottom bar in the branch or Git area. Okay, but before that, let's move these buttons with a branch name and the branch switch to the top, maybe they should be always visible here. So once we detect that there is a Git configured in your workspace, then maybe automatically it should be present all the time right here. So in the center, we have switch between Agentic IDE and editor, and if we detect that there is a Git configured in that workspace, maybe we should put here a button with a branch name that you are currently working on. Then these actions with fetch, pull and push, we can move them to the top, and then Git tree preview at the bottom. Then I guess it will be more consistent with these actions. So because here we have terminal, and then we can add a button that will open a tab similar to the terminal tab with a Git history preview. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, so first thing is to move these things to the top, and I have a ticket for that, so I'm moving that into planning. Okay, but let's take a look at the agents, what they are doing. Okay, so the default settings, it looks like this guy knows what is the issue. Okay, so we have one inconsistency, because in settings manager the default model is Sonnet, and in the add agent dialog this is Opus. So we're gonna switch the default model for settings as Opus, because this is the most, from my perspective, and that's my preference, to work and start always from the Opus as a default model. And so that's the inconsistency that we need to fix, and then fix the bug. So the add agent dialog component is never reads the stored defaults. Okay, so I want you to first fix the inconsistency. So the settings manager default settings and the default model should be the model Opus 1,000,000, and then please fix the add agent dialog component and add the missing implementation for reading the stored defaults values. I want you to work on that in a test-driven development way, and I also want you to run code review and the architecture review once it's done. Okay, before we move to the glow effect toggle and next tasks that are on our list, let me share that we are live on our Discord server. By the way, this is our 13th live stream and this is 13th of June. Nice coincidence. And okay, I would like to invite you to our Discord server. The link is in the description and I will also add a comment later to that video, so it will be easier for you to find the invitation link. Okay, I'm not sure what is the best way to implement the glow effect on-off switch. So I'm gonna ask it to run 2 subagents that will verify which approach is the best one. Look, I'm not sure which option is the best, so I want you to run 2 subagents, and one of them should focus on the code approach, the other one should focus on the architecture approach that you proposed, and please pick the best option for us. Please remember to not over-engineer and stick to the best practices for the Electron applications. Okay, and now the prompt to the branch selector agent. I would like to move the branch selection that is in the editor area. I want to move it to the top bar, and it should be visible every time there is a Git configured in the workspace. I would like to put it here. And now I'm gonna paste the image. Let's have a brainstorming session on it, and I want you also to run a localhost server and visualize for me 3 or 4 options how we can design it. Yeah, and my requirement is that it should be quite big and big enough with a big enough font to make it easy to read and easy to click. Okay, and please remember that I want to have it quite big and wide enough to make it easy to click on it, and then to select different branches. Okay, let's start from it and let's see what are the options. Okay, I like the option A, and I want you to now continue and prepare an implementation plan. And then again, please run code review on it and the architecture review. Yeah, because the spec is here, and now the next step is to prepare a plan. Okay, and the next thing for today is notification system. We already have a notification system, but this is the OS level notification system. And what I want to have is also in-app notifications whenever something is happening in the background and you are not following exactly the process. Yeah? So then you want to have an answer at the end. Okay, this is ready. So somewhere at the bottom, maybe left corner, maybe right corner, there should be a toast presented for you with a state, with an information. For example, indexing has been finished, or whenever you want to refresh your Git history, and sometimes it may take a moment. Then as well, I want to show it that, okay, I finished the job and the fetch was successful. For example, Git fetch was successful or wasn't. Yeah, and then short information. If there is an error, then what the error is. Yeah, we don't have it at the moment, so let's add it. Let's start an agent that will take care of first preparing a spec, or maybe we're gonna start from a brainstorming session. And then the spec, and then plan, of course. I want you to brainstorm on an idea of having an in-app notification system. It should display a toast informations in a toast, yeah. And maybe we're gonna tell it an example of an event that should trigger in-app system notification. So for example, whenever I want to remove an agent and I want to clean up a work tree that is associated with the agent, the cleanup will happen in the background. So whenever it is done and is successful or not, I want to use the in-app notification system to present to users state of the action, if it was successful or not, and if there was an error, then what the error is. And please don't confuse it with a notification system on the OS level that we currently have that is reporting about agent states. That needs to be handled by a different service and different component. Okay, cool, and we have a mockup available for the branch name selector. Let's take a look. Okay, so these are the options. Okay, let me make it bigger. It should be easier now for you to see. So the option number one, actually that is exactly how I was thinking about it. But maybe a bit wider, because sometimes branch names can be long and here is the space here is limited. But yeah, something like this with a search input. Yeah. But okay, let's take a look at the second one. This one is even better because... okay, so the first one as well contains information about commits that you can pull and commits that you can push. And then the list component is the same. Maybe it's too big. Okay, let's move to the next one. I don't like the third one for sure. Okay, and the fourth one is the same as the first one, but the positioning is different. Okay, chat, if you have a moment to take a look, please let me know which option should I choose, because I consider the first one or the second one, option 1 or 2. If you are here and you are willing to take a look, please let me know. Or if you are watching it not as a live stream, then please let me know in the comments section, because yeah, number 3 and 4, these are not the options that we're gonna choose, so either first one or the second one. And I'm also gonna take a moment to think about it. Okay, I see in the chat there is number 1. Someone is voting for number 1. Okay, I'm gonna give you a few more seconds because I need to take a sip. Maybe we can, you know what, maybe we can choose number 1 as you suggested, but let's make it a bit wider. Yeah, because I like that the second one is wide, but maybe not as much as it is in the mock-up. So okay, so for now option number 1, it's the one that we're gonna choose. Sounds good. Okay, thank you. Okay, in this case, let's switch to the Shikigami app and let's chat about it. Okay, so I want you to implement option number 1, but I also want you to make it wider by 50%. And of course, if a branch name is much longer than the space that is available, please don't forget to do ellipsis at the end of the available space or at the end of the branch name that will be visible. Awesome, thank you, chat. And the glow effect toggle, this is ready for the implementation. So let's start the implementation. I want you to work on it in the sub-agent driven mode. Please remember to run code review after each milestone, and then the final code review and the final architecture review. Yeah, go. Okay, and the good news, because the agent that is working on in-app notifications was smart enough that it is asking if we want to see mockups, and of course we want to see mockups for the in-app notifications. Yes, please run a localhost server, and I want you to prepare 4 different options for the notification toasts, and also please keep in mind that I want to have them at the bottom right corner. And we have first thing solved today. This is the default settings bug. Okay, good. I want you to merge it into the local main branch. Okay, and in the meantime, let's take a look. If you haven't seen it already, this is the shikigami.dev website. There is a timer, a countdown till the great release of the Shikigami application. If you don't want to miss, please subscribe to the channel. There is a nice button, follow the process on YouTube, send it to your friends, or maybe they are developers and they are considering different options for the IDE, for their next IDE, the IDE of the future, because in 2026, the classic IDE is not enough. That's at least my perspective, yeah? That's why I'm working on the Shikigami app, because I had my favorite one IDE for PHP projects, but it's not good enough, yeah? The agentic coding is getting more and more popular, and I wanted to have an easy option, easy tool, easy management tool for multiple sessions, and this is what I want the Shikigami to be. And number one choice, of course, it's gonna be free. So as you can imagine, there might be some pros and cons of the Shikigami, as with every product. But this is going to be my number one IDE in terms of agentic coding. If you prefer to manual, you can switch to the editor mode. If you want to take a look at your agents, what they are working on, what is the progress, you switch to agentic coding within the workspace without any custom wrappers on your favorite agent model. This is the plain Claude session, actually 4 of them, same as here. And the application gonna be for free, available to you, and no shady things in the background that are scanning your prompts. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care how you use Shikigami, but I do care about your feedback. So this is what I'm gonna look for after the release. So consider joining our Discord server, because there is already a dedicated channel where I'm gonna listen to you, what you like, what you don't like, what are bugs, if any. I hope no, none, but let's see. So if you don't want to miss that, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We have over 40 subscribers. This is great achievement for me, because the channel is still fresh and still new, and I am new here to the space. So every like and every suggestion in the comments section will be considered. Could you please re-render the HTML, because I don't see options. Okay, I'm just gonna paste what I see. I see empty cards. So something is broken. As you can see, all that is visible are just cards with an empty content. I'm gonna have a request to you guys. As you can see, so this is the Trello board, and I'm not that much happy about it. We had 14 days of free premium, and now it's just a free plan. And maybe, if you know, maybe there is an alternative to Trello, because they took away the option to change colors for the columns, and now it's harder for me to move around. If you know any alternative, please let me know. I am not saying that it has to be for free, but maybe you know something. A tool to manage development for the application, and that is not too expensive. Please let me know. And okay, let's take a look at the options for notifications design. If you are here, and I'm open for your feedback as well. Let's take a closer look at them. So what we want to have an in-app system notification. So whenever something is happening in the background, the app is, for example, processing something, or is doing a cleanup for work trees. This is an async action, and then we want to show a confirmation, or any information if this was a successful operation or not. And these are the options for in-app toasts. Yeah, I would like to hear your preference as well. Okay, I'm gonna say that the option D, I like it. I like that the error message is... Okay, I see B in the chat. Okay, let me think about it a minute, okay? Please. So we have a vote for the option B. Thank you. But what I like is that the last one a text area for the error. So maybe, how about having option B, but having a dedicated text area for an error, maybe? I'm gonna ask it. I'm gonna ask it to prepare B, another B version, and get rid of A and C. So we are considering now option B or D, but I want you also to prepare an alternative version for B with a dedicated text area for error message. And please remove option A and option C. Why I see the top bar 2 times here? Is it how you implemented it, or is it a bug in the template? Okay, and the in-app notifications agent said that we can refresh the page with template. Okay, so this is how it looks. Okay, what I don't like is this scroll bar. Okay, we can go with the inline message design, but then we need to ask it about the behavior, because whenever there is an error and the error message is long, it needs to be an option to see the full error message and maybe also stack trace, if there is any. Okay, so we're gonna go for option B. But I want you to clarify what is the available space for an error message and details, and also what if the message is longer than the space that is available. Do you consider adding a button that the user can click on them and then see the full error message, maybe with details if there are any? And what is as well my requirement is a different lifetime of toasts if those are error toasts. They shouldn't disappear as quick as successful operation toast. Okay, so all is ready for the branch name switch. Okay, no worries, I'm gonna verify it manually later. So for now, if the implementation is ready, please merge it to the local main branch and then clean up work tree and branch. Okay, so that's the notifications design, and as I asked it, there is a show details button, and there is also a difference for lifetime. So the errors should live for 10 seconds. The notifications toasts should be there for 10 seconds, enough time for you to react. And of course, whenever there is a success, then it can disappear much faster, but the error information and details shouldn't disappear. Maybe in the future we can also implement a notification center, because of course you can miss a toast, and at the moment there won't be an option to review errors that happened in the application. But this is the beta version, yeah? Please remember about it. And if you like it, please consider joining the Discord server and subscribing to the channel, because in less than 2 weeks I'm gonna release the app for macOS and Linux for you to test it, to collect first feedback. But please remember, this is beta, and we support at the moment only Claude agents. But it's actually not bad. That's my preference. This isn't a sponsored video, but I'm gonna be honest with you, at today, and I don't believe that this will change in the nearest future, Claude Code is my #1 tool in terms of agentic coding, of course in combination with the Shikigami, because Shikigami, I use it every day. I don't use terminal anymore, or any other VC baked application that is just sniffing around and analyzing live what you are doing. That is not what I do. I don't care how you use Shikigami. Yeah, privacy is the #1 priority nowadays. Okay, good. I can't click on the collapsed card, but I want you to implement the collapsed version. I don't like expanded. But then please show me what will happen once I click on show details button. Okay, let's set the lifetime for 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds it's gonna be auto-dismissed. In the future, we're gonna build a notification center within the application, and then all the errors will be there for users to take a look at them and then learn about details, or maybe report them to us. Okay, and the glow effect toggle is ready to be merged. And that's what the agent will now do. It's going to finalize the implementation and merge it to the local main branch. So the next time we can verify it. And let me remind you, there was a question from the beginning of this session. This is my request to you as well. What is your favorite programming language? Because Shikigami editor, my plan is to support, in terms of Shikigami, I wanted to support TypeScript, JavaScript, and PHP from day one. The rest, that I cannot guarantee, and I don't really know what are the options at the moment. I researched a bit, and there are some licenses requirements. It may not be that easy to support more languages, but anyway, not everyone is using or will be using Shikigami to code in a classic way. I believe most of you will switch to the agentic coding every time and then here develop the application. And editor then can be just a preview tool to take a look at the plan, or maybe some details really of the code. Okay, so it means the feature is on the main branch. Local, of course. Could you please explain the open questions? Okay, so let's take a look at our board, because that means that the glow effect and the branch selector, we can move it into manual verification. and that also means that we can remove that agent. Good. Okay, sorry, maybe I misunderstood something, but I believe that we're gonna have a global listener for in-app notifications, and that listener should of course listen for different events, and one of them will be successful cleanup or successful indexing or whatever successful, and in case of an error, the listener will collect as well the error message with details, if any, attached, for example stack trace, and then present it to users. Okay guys, this session is long, but there is one last thing I would like to start here with you, and this is a Git history tree. Okay, good. And the first thing will be to take a screenshot and so I'm gonna take a screenshot of this part of the Shikigami application. Okay. And I'm gonna let me add a I'm gonna mark the place where I want a button for detection for the Git tree preview. So it should be here, right? Because please remember that that agent will work on main branch changes, okay? Because the work tree, we create a work tree from the current main state, then that state already contains the branch switcher. Actually, let me verify if can we run the application in dev mode? No, we cannot. Okay, not this time. But okay, that's not a problem. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like this. So here should be a button. Similar to what we've done here. We have 3 buttons with 3 different actions, and so I wanted to add a button that will open a similar to the terminal session a window with the preview. Yeah, I guess that will be enough. I want you to brainstorm on a new feature that is a Git history tree preview. And let's start with a mockup. And please present there 3 options. And I want to add a new button in a place where the arrow is pointing on the image, and once user click on that button, I want you to open a section / window similar to a terminal session window. It should be exactly at that place where the terminal session is. And now the question is, what if we have a terminal session and a Git preview? Do we have an option to render the Git preview in this component? But okay, let's maybe leave it for the later step, because there might be a requirement to refactor a bit the terminal component and have a parent component with 2 childs, and one of them is the terminal session and the other one will be the Git preview. But maybe today, yeah, so let's try today finish the design for the button and the Git preview, and the implementation details we can leave for the next session. Okay, please prepare the spec document, and then later we're gonna work on the implementation details. And in the meantime, I would like to ask you to leave like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yes, please start a localhost server and show me mockups. And you are right, so we recently moved the Git branch selector to the top, but anyway, I want you to put the Git preview button at the bottom bar, the one that I pointed to. Okay, there is a question in the chat if Linux will be supported. Yes, of course, will be Linux and macOS. By the way, I'm looking at the comparison between Opus 4.8 and the Fable 5. Someone dropped a post about design capabilities of these two. To be honest, I don't see a difference, not that much. Of course, I'm not sure what's the quality of the prompt that this guy provided. How he tested it, I cannot tell. I don't know the details, but yeah, do you see a difference actually? The first thing that came into my mind when I seen the right side, the Fable 5, it looks like an Apple web page because it's white. No, I see no difference, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna close that. No. Okay, there is another question in the chat. What AI tool did you use to design the front end? No, it's not Claude Design, no. So, but what specifically are you referring to? I would like to know. If you can share, of course. Okay, so here are the options for the Git history preview. Yeah, so this is the button. And this, from what I understand, is... Yeah, maybe we should research for a package. I don't really like the design that you prepared, but anyway, could you run a sub-agent that will research for a package that maybe we can use to render the Git history? And also, I wanted to remind you that the Git history, the tree, the preview, it should be rendered like terminal sessions that we can start in the application. So I don't know what is your idea on it, but it should be wider, much wider. Okay, let's give it some time and let's take a look at the in-app notification. Okay, so we have a spec. Okay, good. I like the event-driven pipeline. That's exactly what I wanted. But what I would like to ask you is to run 2 sub-agents that will verify the architecture and the code possibilities to have it in our code base. And then I want to know what is their opinion on the performance of this approach. And I would like to one more time answer to the question about the design of the front end. So, okay, this, if you were referring to the web page of the Shikigami project, then yes, I used Cloud Design for it to first prepare wireframes and then mockup, and then based on that mockup with Cloud Code, then Cloud Code started working on it. But then we improved the design from Cloud Design. We improved it with Cloud Code and a separate session. And the application itself that we designed and implemented with Cloud Code. Okay guys, cause it's over an hour and a half, almost hour and a half. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you for joining. Thank you chat for questions and being active during this session. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the content, please let me know in the comment section if there is something you would like to see more, or you are curious how the Shikigami application works, or maybe you have an idea to share, then please don't forget to join our Discord server. The link is in the description. I'm gonna add a comment. Actually, let me do it now. Yeah, sorry for the noise. Oh, okay, I cannot add a comment. Then I'm gonna do it later, sorry. Okay, so that's it for today. Yeah, thank you for joining. Have a nice day, have a nice evening, and see you next time. Bye.